A warm welcome back to the channel, guys. So about 2 weeks ago I smoke tested this engine and had smoke billowing out of the cam cover, or whatever this is called. I think it's called the cam cover. Makes sense. So I got a plastic cam cover and smoke was billowing out from under there and there. So cam cover off, I've cleaned the surface, given it a hydrocarbon wipe down. You've got two little half moons in there that are problematic, and a little recess there, and a recess there that I think I'm going to put a little bit of sealant on. So 2 weeks ago, I went on eBay and ordered this stuff, which is meant to be the sealant to use. It still hasn't arrived. Yesterday I went and ordered this on Amazon again, because I've given up on it ever turning up on it from eBay, and it arrived today. This is the Amazon one. So eBay, the courier Every picked up the item, so it was sent by the guy that sends them, you know, the seller, and it's been in the Every local depot since like I ordered it. So they get it and then it just sits in their depot for weeks. I've raised a complaint, but nothing will happen, and eventually it might turn up about 2 weeks later. 2 weeks is no good. I can wait 3 or 4 days, 5 days, but yeah, when it starts. Ordered on the 11th, today's the 21st, so it's, well, okay, it's 10 days, but I don't know. It's not even been transferred out of the local depot. So anyway, moan over. Yeah, I'm just going to stop buying stuff. If it's this dispatch from eBay that it's not Parcel Force or Royal Mail or DHL or DPD, if it's this everything, I'm going to stop ordering it because they're just too unreliable. So there's the new sealant. It's an L-ring one. One of my patrons sent me a workshop guide and said that L-ring manufacture the OEM one. The only concern is the OEM gasket looks pretty good to me. It's not all like stiffened up, so I'm not sure if there was a gasket failure. I was hoping to find a gasket failure. I've just done something a little bit daft. I just ripped this packet open. I just should really read the instructions. I've cleaned and dry, placed on top, yeah, continuous, yeah, 2 to 6 mm bead on one surface, yeah. Assemble the parts immediately while it's still wet. Finger tighten until the material can squeeze out around the flange, yeah. Then tighten and torque. Okay, so sort of loose tight and then let it squeeze out and then tighten it up. So basically just use it kind of like how you would. And of course, right, there we go. So let's use this then. So in theory it was leaking from under here and around under here, and I don't think it was ever making its way through there and then back out again, so it would have been going under this gasket. So I'm also going to put some sealant on the metal plate over there on the edge of the engine along here. A lot of you'd say don't do that, but I'm going to, because otherwise it's just too similar to what's there. There was oil on the underside of this as well, so it was definitely getting under the gasket, and it probably was torqued up properly. So let's get the sealant. Let's get the sealant on. I don't want to use too much, so like I say, we'll put a bead of sealant on there, along there, and then in those two half moons, and then we'll put it back. We'll put it back together. So it's going to be a bit of an informal video. Yeah, this is already, you pierce it and it starts coming out. So it's as clean as I can get it. I sort of scraped it with a little plastic scalpel. I think the reality of these E36s is that these cam covers are prone to not being 100% sealed. That's what I sort of read. And mine was really bad. So if it's not billowing out smoke after this, I'll kind of be half happy. So I'm just putting it in these half moon edges. I'm going to flatten this down with my finger. Let's just get a torch. that's fine, doesn't need to be loads. And then a little bead. Obviously don't want to get any in there. I'm going to flatten all that bead down. Just so it's a thin, pasty line. That's not a lot, but it shouldn't be a lot. Sorry the visibility isn't great, but I just got to get this done. Okay, it's a good line, sealant there. Good line of sealant there. Yeah. None of that should go in. It's too thin to spurge out. That should fix it. Just don't want any big blobs of it. Just want a really thin layer, because the gasket's going to bite into that, especially when we tighten it up. So you can see what we've kind of done. Let's just lower that down, like so. There. Don't want any overhanging. I mean, I think when all this oil that's in the cam system gets hot, there are little bits of crap on the top of the cam cover. It is held by those nuts, but I'm worried it's not going to centre. It's not going to centre so well if it's like that, especially on those spark plugs. But you're going to get vapour going. You don't want any vapour going in there, do you? I think it's the only way to do it. Now so just going to keep dropping, and I'm going to get the right ump. We're in position. This should just now drop down. I don't like the way that goes on. I can see why this could go wrong. I bet you. It's like that. Looks good. That looks good. That's the way to do it. I bet some people put that gasket on top of the engine rather than slot it in for that reason. That's probably what goes wrong. If it drops when you're putting it in, especially that main gasket, that's how you probably get a kink in it. But that went on quite nicely. So that went rather well. It's all lined up, and I can see in those cylinders that it hasn't disturbed it. Yeah. There was some crap in one of those cylinders, but it's wedged. It's plastic from the coil pack. It gets stuck underneath the washer. I can't blow it out. I can't get anything on it. If you're doing spark plugs, that just needs clearing out. But anyone doing the spark plugs on this would know, and they would take that out. But I can't get it out. Right, so now we want to torque the nuts back in. So, if I take the two centre nuts, there's a little thing going on here. I've put these in position for a reason. Just bear with me, this is a proper... So if I start, I think you've got to start from the centre according to the guide I read. So you put it in like a cross pattern. So you 1 1 1 1 1 1, and then don't torque them up massively. Just put them on and then work your way out, rather than just tightening it in the corner and tilting it all over, all that sort of stuff. So I think just hopefully a little bit of common sense with putting this back on. We should. So I've got those three have got the rubber bungs in them. So this one goes in here. These sit on top of cap nuts as well, so I'm not overly worried about torque, because it's metal on metal. You're not sort of torquing a thread into a, like a bolt into a thread where the torque, you can literally keep going till you snap the nut or break the thread. This is metal on metal eventually. So if I'm just going to do that with a little bit of tightness. Now this one has a threaded head in it, which will be, why has that got a threaded head in it? Why has that got a threaded head in it? What's going to tighten onto that? Nothing. I've positioned them out specifically though, so that they go, so I put them back from whence they came. But I must have got those the wrong way around, because that bolt there would be for this earth strap. Let me just double check. How would I... That would be really slack if I put those in the wrong position, but I have. Yeah, so the end ones have got a stud. Yeah, so I put those in the wrong position. That's really slack. It's a bit worrying. So you can just see that nut has got like a bolt on it for the earth connection that you can just see there. So I've got those two the wrong way around. I must have. Yeah, it's fine. I'll double check at the end. I'm going to leave the final cover off and just leave this overnight for that sealant to cure up. Just want to be slightly careful here. Make sure I get that washer. Yeah, I mean, this isn't a difficult job, but it's just whenever you're doing a job you've not done before, there's always a little bit of a risk. The risk here is that it doesn't seal properly, and then I'm no better or no worse than I was before. I think it's going to seal. It's just whether it seals completely. I'll settle for a half decent seal. In there. There we go. Take that. Pop that washer in there. These washers just apply pressure, I think, to the rubber bungs better. And there's no way these are ever going to work themselves loose. Never. I think it's only to make sure that all these cover nuts sort of seal up the, because each bolt it's got a rubber bung under it. I didn't replace those. They look pretty sharp and clean to me. So it's probably been done at some point. I could have done that. So I'm just tightening this up till I feel it stiffen a little bit. That's it. And then we'll work. So we're not putting a lot of pressure on there. I said working across, but it seems I'll just loose fit these on the edges. Yeah. Let's do that one. Oh, okay. Okay. So that one goes in here. It's not going to be the most interesting video, but I've been waiting to do this job for so long. These I'm not going to torque at all. I'm just going to put them in just till the bolt hits the washer. Just that'll do. I think you'd be better off with a bloody I think you'd be better off with a screwdriver here, working on these things. Just to put them in. That's it, yeah, you will be better off with this. Yeah, just like that. Okay, so that's our 4 centre bolts. Then I'm going to put those 2 bolts and work my way out from the middle. So we've got 2 on each side. So these are our 2 middle. That's top and bottom. Yeah, so that's our middle. You don't want to be dropping any of these. Get that thing out of the way. And you don't want to be threading them all. Let's just bite those in so they just start to tighten. That's it. Okay. Right, so that'll do. That's it, that's enough. Oh, that's going to be tricky. Okay, it's a nice feeling doing this though, it's just nice. These engines are of an age where you can do these little jobs yourself, and like I say, this would probably be a couple of £100 to get this done. It's not a big job at all. Dirt on top, bottom on top. Oh yeah, okay. So we're not putting really any additional pressure. I can see why that sealant's there. I swear this sealant looks grey, not black. Probably got that knockoff Chinese version. I was going to go down to Halfords and they got an RTV sealant in there, but I'll just wait for this stuff because this is what people are saying you should use. Okay. Just asking myself the question if I've forgotten anything. The answer is if you're asking yourself the question, you probably have. I can't think of anything. This looks like a fiddly one. I mean, it makes sense it wasn't torqued up properly, but I'm sure I checked that. Could have just needed torquing. Anyway, don't go there. It's going to be fiddly. Might need a short socket. Yeah. And yeah. And yeah. Is that a 10? What have I got there? Wrong socket, that's what you got. Oh, this ratchet's useless. Bloody ratchet. Not loose enough. Put your weight on that. Okay, that's it. Just till it starts to bite. Middle. Last 3 main seal nuts going on now, guys. Get at it. So we'll show you what we've been doing a bit closer here. So basically putting these seal nuts in and just so the moment you switch to one hand cam, you need 2 hands. doing that by hand. So it's all very loose at the moment. Just as I start to feel that resistance, it's just starting to pinch, the gasket's going under a little bit of pressure, I stop. So we're just, you know, just doing our thing. We'll put that breather valve cap back on, that won't cause us any problems. We should have a good, that's it, that's on. Let's get that other one on. So that's all our caps. You can see what I was saying about the earth strap there. So I had that nut. You need the nut with the bolt, or the bolt with the nut, or the bolt with the bar to be able to put that earthing strap on. There's a lot of earthing straps, and these earthing straps as well here. So let's just tighten these up. I reckon there's a good chance we've done a good job here though. That, you see that little rubber thing there right in the middle of the shot with the that was broken. It took me hours because it's a bar, it's like a thread on a plate with a big chunk of rubber on it, and then a plate and a thread going into the block, and it snapped. The rubber, it'd been busted forever, that. So to get it out was a nightmare. I showed on Instagram. I had to imagine drilling. You got a plate presented to you on the bottom covered in rubber. I had to scrape all the rubber off, then drill loads of little small drill holes so I could create a line that I could get a screwdriver in. It was the only way to do it. I tried everything. Right, so all of those bolts are loose fitted. Now, I was talking to one of my patrons, Tosh, about this. You can torque them up to 10 Newton meters of torque, which is nothing. Or you could just torque them to the cap nut and just make sure they bite against the cap nut, and you give them a little bit of turn extra. Like I say, because you're not torquing into a thread. So as long as you hit the cap nut, it's metal on metal. They're not going anywhere. So now I'm going to tighten them. Put the extension bar on. Yeah, we're good to tighten now. So we'll work from the middle. I think this is probably the bit that you want to be more mindful of. And we'll do the crisscross. We could use a torque wrench, but we're not at 10 Newton meters yet. Could get my little torque wrench out. Because we might, well, maybe, I don't know. Maybe we'll get a little torque wrench. I'm convinced. I don't know if this goes that low, but it will give us an idea. I think it goes down to like 15 or something. That's a 3/8. Oh, it only goes down to 11. Yeah, little bugger. Oh no, it does. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I can get that on there. This will just give me an idea that I'm not doing anything majorly stupid. Yeah. Oh, is that okay? The stud. Oh no. What size is that? What size is that? Everything's a pain in the arse. Oh, that. Now it's biting. Yeah. Yeah, so basically when you hit that cap nut, you're gonna have to, even if I go up to like 15 torque, it's gonna torque. So basically you just want to go to the cap nut. So I don't think we'll actually all that worried about torque. Just got to keep going till you feel it. Right, there it is. And yeah, just a little bit more. Right, so we go crisscross now. There it is. There it is. I think probably actually maybe why it's suggesting torque is if you go nuts on it, you could end up threading the main cap nut that actually goes into the metal base. So if you went mad with the torque, but you'd have to go mad. So it's maybe that advisory on torque stops you doing anything really stupid. But go. Right, so we've got our central ones done tight now. So we'll crisscross over to this one and then that bottom one. So we're kind of working our way outwards. There it is. And then in there. Have we done those ones? Yeah. Come on, you. There's this little shit in the corner. Come on, you little. There we go. Yeah. So that I just want to double check these are all done now. Yeah. So these are all done. So now I've done that one, haven't I? Oh no, so that one there, now this one. So that one's done there, yeah. So that one should be done, shouldn't it? Oh no, that isn't, so sorry. So I've done that one. Now I need to do that one. That's not an even amount. There we go. And this one. Come on. There we go. Yeah, so now we'll do the ones right at the end. There we go. There we go. There we go. So that's all of our cam cover nuts in place. Dim nuts. So then we want to put on our earthing straps next, I think, which I think are these 8mm, small little diddy little buggers. They're smaller. Yeah, they're 8. I think they're 8s. Yeah. So 2 earthing straps. What are all these? Torques? I don't know, 10mm. Okay, so these are all the same. Let's just pick these up. Left hand deepest in the engine bay. Right hand front, not that it makes any odds actually with that. sorry. Let's put extension bars on. So we got this here. You try and do that, you're going to drop it. Can't go into the cylinders though, can it? Yeah, we're kind of safe now actually. The only risk is threading stuff. This doesn't need to be torqued up a lot. Oh, for God's sakes, why is the nut so long on this? The bolt, sorry. That's good. So let me just do these other ones, guys. Where does this go to? Where does that go to? You're crossing the metal plate to the bolt. Why would you do that? I suppose it's earthing. It's earthing. I suppose if you ever got a, I don't know, why were you, well, I don't even know why we're doing this. I suppose if you get anything, any voltage into that bar, it's going to be earthed. Don't know why you've got to do both sides. It's a bit strange. Bit strange, that. Yeah. So that gets, yeah, okay, all right, whatever. It's just, it must be earthing the coils as well. I don't know. Oh, oh, that one hasn't been torqued. They're not good. They're not good, but these are on the end anyway, so I'd probably torque these last. That bolt's going to be in the fucking way now. It's going to be the easiest way to quickly screw that in. Okay. Bit slack. I think you've got to have a methodical mind to do this, and that's where I fall short. I got an impatient mind. What are you thinking about the next thing? Right. Let's just do this. Do not want to be dropping that bolt down into that spark plug chamber. Okay. Yeah, looks like good position. so I'm not going to get in the way of the coil pack with the base of it. I think. Oh, I hope. Is there any risk? Yeah, let's just alleviate that risk completely. And twist that right round so there's no way that coil pack could butt up against that earthing strap. Oh, it can't. That's as far across as it will go. Don't go nuts with that. Right, that's that earthing strap done. Next one. I think that's how it all goes. It's because of the position of those. Wouldn't be the other way around, would it? Oh, it could be. No, it wouldn't be. It'd be that way. Yeah. You can see. Just not 100% sure if this earthing strap would... Oh yeah, it has to go in before the coil pack. Because the coil pack bolt is what connects it to that piece of metal. So it's tight enough. That's all our earths. So now we're ready. Don't need that torque wrench. Well, you don't need it. I don't think you need a torque wrench to do that. Because 10 meters of torque, newton meters of torque is just, as long as you go like a bit tighter till it bites, you're there. Just don't over torque it. You have to be going nuts to really over torque it. So now we're ready for the coil packs. So these are going to go in the same order from whence they came out. So left hand deepest in the engine bay. Notice the ends of these are prone to kind of cracking a little bit, unfortunately. It's just a shame, but so if we get those out of the way, just going to loose fit these on top because I've got to play around with the bolts. Left hand furthest in the engine bay. Yeah, those bits there cracking. That's not really doing anything. Just leave it. Get it in there. Don't look at it. Just put it all back together. I hope it works. That's the heat. You get a nasty shock off these. You're playing around with these engines on. That is in the way. You were right to be worried about that. Oh no. But it's not gonna. It's not. No. Okay. So it's not. That's not butting down there. So as long as you get that wire out the way, it's not going to butt it. Should that be up above the coil pack though? I think it probably should. Maybe not. No, I don't think it will be. I think it will go that way. So, oh, you shithead. Shithead thing. this is the bolt I'm worried about, because you've got to make sure you get your earthing strap. Yeah, it's got it. I would imagine you pop these coil packs in first and then bugger around with. It's interesting, isn't it? I thought that had like popped in. Is that earth strap stopping that pop? Let's just pop one in where we don't have to worry about earthing straps. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't pop in, actually. It wants to spring out. Yeah. So that's okay. So as long as we get that in, it still feels like that's pinching. Still feels like that's being pinched up. Oh no, that's okay, that's okay. Right. Yeah, I just sort of always thought these coil packs tend to pop in, and that's it. Doesn't feel like that's popping onto the spark plug. Really, like fucking head shell bastards. Am I doing something daft here, or is that just how it is? Time will tell. Time will tell. I don't want to thread any of these. Nearly there. Normally this is a bit where you sort of realise you've forgotten to do something. You've got to undo it all, go right back to the start. So what I'll do, guys, just in the interests of boredom, I'll put all the bolts in, tighten those back in, and then put the head shells back into the sockets back into the head shell, connect the coil pack, the coil pack cable back into the wiring loom. Breather pipes are back on. That's it. So I won't smoke test it. I'll just let that sealant go off for 12 hours. So I'll be back in a sec. Okay guys, so we're done. I've tightened up all of those, got the earth straps out of the way, just so those coil packs fitted back in, coil packs connected, wiring loom reconnected. Okay. The cover plates I won't put on. I'll leave this overnight and it should be done. I've got a flat parcel turned up over here, and I thought it was a neck holder for my mouth organ that I'd lost. I'm trying to learn how to play the harmonica, but it wasn't. It was a plaque from Gion, which is super cool. So I've put that up on my wall. So a huge thank you to them. Yeah, so awesome. So I'll come back. We'll smoke test this. Is it going to work? Is it not going to work? I'm not sure. Yeah, but whatever happens, I'm not taking that off again. Not unless it's billowing smoke. A little tiny puff of smoke somewhere. Like little trail of smoke somewhere should be okay. If it's billowing smoke, I probably need a new plastic cam cover, I'd imagine. Because I've followed the process. I've cleaned it all. I've put it back down on there. The gasket's good. Yeah, so if it hasn't worked, then it's got to be a bent coil cover, coil pack cover, cam cover thing. But it doesn't look bent. Yeah. Okay, guys, I'm back. It's been about 4 hours, not overnight. I'm figuring that if this is leaking, I want to know about it now. It's going to be at low. I'm not going to ram it full of smoke. I'm just going to tread carefully. I've got the throttle body wedged open. The ASC is open a little bit by default. So we'll turn our smoke tester on now. See what it smells like. burnt oil, even if you haven't used it for ages. Right, there we go, we've got smoke coming through, so we'll plug that in. We might get a bit of blowback through this, through here. Yeah, I knew it. Swine. Bonk. Oh, that's bizarre. That suggests that. Hold on a second. It just suggests the smoke's not getting. The smoke's not getting into the throttle body's definitely open. I can feel the ASC valve is open. So there's two valves, I think, ASC and throttle body. Yeah, that throttle body is open. I've got my finger under it there. That's open. So we shouldn't be getting any donking back pressure like that. So what's going on with that? Oh. That's interesting. That's off. I shouldn't be getting any. Oh, so I think it's just it's just pushing out from the rubber. So I think the rubber on this is butting up. Oh, it blows air. So I think I'm butting up against that valve, but that shouldn't cause me any problems. That shouldn't blow out. But you can hear it. That should all be opened. Why is that blowing out? Why is that doing that? That makes no sense at all. It's almost like it's building up pressure, then pinging it. I've definitely got that tool wedging the throttle body open. That throttle body is open, so that should get me through to here. So I shouldn't be getting this. I shouldn't be getting any of this blowback. I can hear it. It's going to pop. It's going to go bump. It's going to go bump there. Why is it doing that? It's all open. Why is it doing that? Let's just put this down. Why is there always a problem? What's going on with this? The only thing that would make any sense is that the throttle body isn't fully open. That is though. Yeah, I can feel it. Fucker. Oh, hold on. That throttle body is open. But it's building up pressure. It's going donk. Why is it doing that? Why is it doing that so quickly? That makes no sense. That should not ping off of there. Oh, well, that's hissing through to the engine now. So maybe it's kind of already got a bit of back pressure, so it generates back pressure straight away. Well, I'm taking that as a win. That's full of smoke. That's full of smoke. I'm taking that as a win. Because beforehand it was billowing out of there. That would have made it through. If I disconnect that breather valve, no, just don't bother. That would have made it through. That would have made it through. That's sealed. That's sealed. There's smoke all in there. That's full of smoke. Ugh. I'm taking that as a win. Just make sure that's fixed. Oh, it gets down here. It gets down here. Schnozzle this. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Oh God. Shut up. Vibrating bastard. Stinks. Stinks of burnt baby oil. Funny that, Jan. So, see, now the valve's closed. I just want to make sure that the throttle cable is doesn't go funny, because when you release tension on it, no, that's good. Just be 100% sure that's still on there. Okay, yeah. So that cable throttle is good. Yeah, when you release tension on it, it can sometimes, the little head that bites on it can reposition in a bad place, and then that can affect your idle and, you know, acceleration and stuff. That's good. That's good. That's good. We could run this up, actually. We could run this up just to make sure I don't have a misfire. So, do we need to worry about that smoke? Let it vape out? No, we don't really. It's just smoke. So if I just put this MAF back on, this MAF's nice and clean. I'm not going to clean it out. I think we're job done there, which is good. A bit strange it was popping off like that, but I suppose, no, it doesn't make any sense, because you'd think it would need to pressurise the intake system fully before you get the blowback. Unless the valve was closed, you'd get the blowback, but that valve was open, so it was just blowing back. I suppose because there's air in there already, it must hit the point where there's some back pressure quite quickly, and yeah, there's not much back pressure. There's not much back pressure holding that little cone in, so that's probably what was going on. But yeah, the valve was definitely open. We're definitely blowing smoke in the right place. It doesn't need to be too tight. We just want to make sure these are in properly. It's easy to rush at the end and mess something up. So this is our air box. Oh, okay. Okay. So let's just position that. It rotates. And this daft bit of plastic fucking venting always gets in the bloody way. You got to do that. There's a method here. There'd be a method here. Whatever it is, I'm doing it wrong. Remember, this was always problematic. Snap any of this and crush any of this. Get out of the way, you little bastard. problem is this will go in now, then this won't. Yeah, I knew it. I knew it. Has to be in position first, or you're never going to get that in. None of these pipes will get damaged. That has to be. That stupid doodah there has to be. There we go. That's why these rubber pipes get split and damaged. Okay. 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 That needs to be popped in there. That needs to be popped in. There you go. It's the magic pop. Okay, we're back in business, guys. Let's make sure. What view have you got there? A view have you got there? Half decent one. Yeah, just make sure that just makes sure we got all the air flare. Right, we'll just torque those up a little bit so that don't go anywhere. And that one, that gives us everything. So that was a success. I just didn't want to keep running that smoke test for too long and just like really load it up with pressure and smoke. But no, that's fixed. So I think it must have been a crimped gasket, what's the word, kinked. A kinked gasket I must have had. Now I don't need to put those covers back on to run up the car. That car should be safe to run up. I've got everything connected. This car has not been run for a while. I just want to check for misfires. Oh, it's nice to get this thing. It's nice to get this thing going again. It's been off the road for 2 weeks. Fancy driving it. There'll be some computer I need to set, won't there? What's going on with that? Why is that killed itself? What's going on with that? Battery's connected. What's going on? That's not good. What could have possibly caused that? We got any electrical connections shorted or something? No, we had power initially. Maybe. Why the hell has that died a death? What's going on with that? That's not good. It's just... Ooh, oh, it's just the connection here probably wasn't quite good enough. That's interesting. Yeah, I haven't got that battery terminal torqued up. So, probably should have. So, if we just do that. Well, that's good. So, let's just fire it up. Always check it. A high idle there, but it's not been run for a while. That's not misfiring. Hold on a second. That's purring like a kitten, that is. Ever since I did the idle control valve, it maintains revs a bit better. I think now that vacuum leak, yeah, I don't want to, we'll just leave that. Don't want to run the car for too long. Just wanted to make sure I didn't have a misfire, because I've been buggering around with coil packs. So if it was like, you know, one of the cylinders wasn't firing or something, but they all seemed, that at least sounded to me like it, that all the cylinders are good. So we don't have smoke billowing out from where it billowed out before. In fact, we don't have any smoke billowing out. We don't have misfire. Is there anything else I could balls up? Probably. I've already put a tiny little sealant of lubricant on those threads, because you do not want the bolt catching on those, because it's rubber, so it rips them off. So the next thing then really is just to fit the cap, fit these things. When I started this video, I found these. I said, didn't I? I'm not sure if I videoed it, but I found these, and I was like, "What the hell is this?" Because I found it in the engine bay, and it's part of this. Oh, I see. So I'm missing two of those. Probably not critical, but without them, something might bang a little bit. So I probably need to get two of those little rubber feet. That's another job that I'll never get around to doing. So now we put in the, I don't know what this is called. I suppose it's just like the intake manifold cover, or fuel line cover maybe. And there's no visibility of that, so that's just guesswork if that goes in properly. Is that going? That is going in. That's good guesswork. And this one won't play ball. That's gone in as well. That's good. So fate is on our side. So it's looking like I'm not. There's no reason to do those up too tight. As long as it's not rattling. That's the sort of thing you end up cracking plastic. This car is pretty good actually, like all these bits in here. You can get at most of this car. That's it, that's enough. That's tight, it's not going to rattle. You can get at most of the things. It's so much easier than the Porsche. When travelling in France, you want to buy the BMW, not the Porsche. And I wasn't wrong. These cars are just a little bit more DIY friendly than Porsches. Porsches, you know, they're all right, but you're very limited. There's just certain jobs which are just like engine and drop to access all the bits, whereas these are like, they're designed to be a bit more serviceable with these engines in the front. Just makes sense, I think. All things being equal, engine at the front is the way to go, isn't it? But there's something magical about those Porsche flat sixes, apart from the magic of how easily they blow up, which truly is magic. They are good when they're working. The big end bearing's not spinning on them. But yeah, these BMWs, I said before in that video, which one should you buy? These are so less sporty, obviously. The Porsche is an out-of-the-box sports car. That's a lot more thrilling, a lot more sporty. You know, and certain things on the Porsche are just better. But you kind of expect that, wouldn't you, to a certain extent? But these BMWs got a lot going for them. They look amazing. These engines are really robust. They're not handed. How are they going? These are new. because I didn't even realise I was missing one of these. So these are cheap on eBay, so make sure I've got the knack for those. Not sure what the knack is supposed to be, but there's got to be a knack, because that doesn't want to go in easily. I can see why these get broken as well now. I can see it. I can see it. Yeah, these ones are just, these will go in there. Yeah, they'll go in a bit easier because they've been, yeah. These last brand new ones, these are not going to go in quite as easy. There we go. Is that good enough? Yeah, that's good enough. Right. The final thing, I'll just do a little, actually just maybe a little bit of panel wipe on. Just on a bit of elephant roll, just because we've covered it, all of this in fingerprints and greasy hand marks. So just give that a little wipe down. I like to keep the engine bay, I don't like, this is not a show car, but I like to just keep the engine bay serviceable and clean. I've got one extra one of those because I bought 2 new ones, so I'll keep that as a spare. So I like to keep this sort of like grime and dirt free. I'm not too worried about this all being dressed up, but you could do that. That scuttle was coated when ages ago. I'm sure it still beads or whatever. I just want to keep this all kind of honest and serviceable, which is what it is. Yeah. There we go, guys. So, how to replace your valve cover or cam cover gasket seal. Basically, flip those 2 caps off, unbolt those 2 things with 10mm bolts, then go around and undo all your bolts for your the cover, undo the 4 big bolts there, and the earthing strap in the middle and the 2 earthing straps on the end. Disconnect the coil packs, disconnect the wiring loom, make sure the battery's all off. Cover out the way, remove gasket, get another gasket kit for around the edge and the 2 gasket bits in the middle, and you can also get a full gasket kit for all of these if you want to. I didn't. Probably should have done, but I don't think, well, it's worked. And put your new gaskets in. You can see there my gasket sealant. Oh yeah, that is hardened off. It's not fully cured, but it's hardened. I put a little bit of sealant there, a little bit of sealant there, a little bit in the half moons, and I've done something that people will say you shouldn't do, which is I've put some sealant where it was billowing out before, and I think that was a good idea. No matter what anybody says, I think that was a good idea, because it just prevents me that if this cam cover lid is just slightly distorted, and I couldn't see it when I put a ruler against it, it looked flat, but if there's a slight ½ mil distortion and that's where the smoke was getting through, and even with the gasket torqued up before it was getting through, then that line of sealant underneath is just going to form the seal. So that sealant under there could be the reason this has been successful, or maybe the smoke just didn't make it to that bit. Either way, I'm done. This car's running, and yeah, it's been an interesting job. That's taken 2 weeks virtually, because I've been waiting for that sealant to turn up. Moral to this story is I think you're better off buying it on Amazon. It was the same price, but it turned up bang. I ordered it yesterday after 5 o'clock, and it turned up before 12 o'clock today. I mean, that's how it should be, shouldn't it? It shouldn't be like waiting around for 2 weeks for something to turn up. Anyway, rant out. I've got to do, this is due an oil change, and I just don't know whether to do it myself and just, you know, sign in the book or put a little note in the service book that I've serviced it. Get BMR to do it and pay the money, or service it through Dan, because it's got all the BMW stuff servicing, which I think counts for something, but I don't think it counts for much really with these now. So I've got 3 options. I'd like to service the oil myself because it's such an easy job, but I'll probably do it with BMR. Yeah, so there we go.